Good morning everyone, welcome to Transformation Day. Today we are going to take that ugly room and we're going to transform it into what you're seeing right now, so let's get started. Alright guys, welcome to a new episode. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Alright, first, before we get started on anything, let me know in the comments below if you have a room that is ugly, whether in your own house or with a friend. Because I think a lot of us can relate on that. It has happened a lot of time throughout my life and I never knew what to do with it. What can I do with it? Can I shoot in it? Everything I would do would just looks like So I went on a little bit challenge here and I decided that I would turn that room you're seeing right now into what you're seeing now. So if you're ready, let's get started. Let's put a little wide angle on that baby and show you around. Whoa, all right, here we go. That's gonna be better to give you a little sense of the place. We're gonna be talking about gear, we're gonna be talking about lenses, we're gonna be talking about lights. I wanna show you everything. But first, let's understand what we're working with and what I tried to do with that room. Here's the deal, this is the room. It looks kind of like nothing right now. This is what I have to work with. The pitch here is that I want to turn that part into a recording studio part because I think that wooden wall looks kind of cool. It can make a good backdrop, but there is a bed in the middle, the shelf over there. So I need to move things around. I need to organize. I need to put some correct light also. I'm just using a quick projector. If I turn it off, there's like barely any light. It's very, very dark. There are two windows. Let me show you. There are two windows. There is a window here and another one there that casts a little bit of natural light. Let's see what we can create together. Let's get started. Look, we've got the table here. I mean, that's kind of temporary. I'm sure I can find another one, but if we have that background, that might be okay. I might catch the bed, I'm not sure. But I don't know what to do with that part, so I might have to find some kind of backdrop. The whole floor is not straight. As you can see, there was a lot to work with, but after moving a few things around, I think I found a positioning that is quite interesting. So how is it possible that I get that cool frame with that room? Well, let's look at it. You have to remember, whenever you're taking a photo, whenever you are taking a video, you want to be controlling exactly what is going to be in your field of view and nothing else. The rest doesn't really matter. So my whole goal was to make sure that that background, that little area, that little square would look good. So if you look around here, if you look from a little bit further, as you can see, well, there is still some random stuff over here, but that part, which ends up in the frame, looks good. And the next thing you want to realize is that in order for it to look good, I can't shoot too wide. If I were to shoot like that, yeah, let's look at, so I'm looking at my phone at the same time, there is an image of the camera, that way I can see what I'm talking about. That could look interesting, but I don't think this is as good as when I'm using a long lens. So the lens I'm using in that setup is actually right here. It is a 70-200 2.8 and I'm using it at maybe 80 millimeter. That way it creates a lot of compression in my background over here. As you can see, everything that is behind me right now gets kind of compressed and gets blurred out. If possible, I would love for it to be way further, but I have to work with what I have. So in terms of the image and the frame, this is what I ended up doing. I tried with the 16-35 at 35 millimeter, at 16, it didn't look as good. So I kind of switched over to the 70-200, creates a lot of compression. It's great, you can have the laptop just here, a few plants. I think it's a more conducive way of speaking together. But the wider you are, the easier it is for anyone to feel like they're in the room. So when you're working with the room, remember you want to be working with just the frame that you will be seeing in that image or that picture. The rest doesn't really matter that much. And I know it's frustrating not to have a beautiful room with everything looks good, but come on, we don't all have that possibility. And especially me, I'm always constantly moving in different places. Hopefully we'll find a base that looks very photogenic, but for now, I'm always moving and I have to adapt to the local conditions, you like the word? Now, what do we have in terms of sound? What do we have in terms of light? If you picked it up correctly already, I want you to drop it in the comments if you have an idea already of how I shot that, what kind of lights I'm using. I want to know because I think it's very ghetto style what I did at the beginning. Now it's getting better because I got new lights, but yeah, work in progress. In the background, nothing special. We've got some fairy lights. I just put them on and I'll show you why. It's because whatever you want to do product shots, if you want to take photos of products right here being lit up nicely, having fairy lights in the background creates really interesting bokeh. So if you want to play a little bit around with, that is great. Now here we've got a little LED projector that's I think Yongnuo YN300, fairly cheap, but it's great for the price. Here, simply a little light just to light up the shelf. Here we've got a lamp that is actually controllable with my phone. And right here we have a rim light, which is supposed to light up just the side of my face, which is supposed to be right here, just to really have me split off of the background. Now you might be wondering, okay, that's great, that's for everything in the back, but what happens, what is the main light? Well, the main light is right here, it is right here, and we've got one here, but that one doesn't count, it's just more for the ambient. I just find it really dark in that room, so I just wanted a little bit more ambient. So here you might be confused, you're like, wait, doesn't that thing look like a reflector? Yes, you got it right. It is actually a reflector. You know those 3-in-1 disc reflectors? Well, this is exactly what it is. What I did is remove the cover and the reflective part, and I kept it as a softbox. I don't have a softbox, so I have to really become creative and work with what I have. And this is what I have with me right now, so that's as good as it's gonna get. We've got a light stand, nothing special. Those were cheap ones on Amazon. By the way, everything that I'm talking about, if you're trying to create a setup or whatever, I drop links to everything with the description of every item. So you don't need to ask in the comments, just check the description. That's gonna be very helpful. Now, what's on the other side here? All right, on the other side, we've got two Aputure Mini 20D, and those are daylight LED projectors, really good. Here you can control how wide. You see, that's a very wide beam, so flood mode, or you can put it in spot mode. Right now I'm in flood mode with two of those on. Now in a different setting I might not have two of those, and you can also change how much power is being put on that lamp. But because I'm pretty far, I put them full power, both of them. As I told you, that is just a reflector, and what is cool is that you can fold it in 2 seconds. Takes a lot less space, very, very practical. Some of you might be wondering, why did I use projectors that are portable? Because if you know that product, if you know the Aputure Mini 20D, if I'm correct, well, those are portable projectors, and they're great because, as you guys know, I travel a lot, which means if I go to another place, I might not be able to get a good ambient light or whatever. And my goal in the future is really to be able to create a studio wherever I am, and very quickly. So that's going to be my goal. And everything, all those 3 lights and the 2 main lights that you see, they actually fit in that simple small box, plus a tiny other box over here with the 3 light stands. But that's all. Having everything in here is super practical. And I'm gonna experiment more, I'm gonna take them on the field, I'm gonna have fun. I wanna set up a studio like in the wild one of those days. They can be run on batteries, and that is great. So you can use any of those battery and actually power the projector with it. When I get like a more stable location for shooting, I will definitely get a bigger projector with like a giant softbox, but for now, I think that works really well. To be honest, I find the light is very soft. I love the fact that you can control if you want flood or if you want spotlight. I did some product shoot just for fun earlier, and it was really nice to play around with the light and make it a little bit more dramatic, less dramatic, etc. I'm gonna try also a little bit different types of lighting on my face, because right now it's kind of very soft, but if I want a little bit more dramatic, maybe I can do it too. All right, the next thing that you want is to get good audio whenever you're shooting like that. So what I did is actually remove the microphone that I use normally on top of the camera, and I put it right here. You can see that's my boom mic. It's linked to a cable and to an external recorder. That's a Zoom H1, very practical, tiny, and that's how I record the sound. It is fairly close to me. You can see it's just here. And whenever I speak, it picks up the audio better, because if I use the same mic on camera, when it's at that distance over there, let me tell you, it sounds terrible because there is a lot of echo. So a little tip is always bring your microphone as close to your source as possible. And that really worked out for me in that case. Now let's switch back to the long lens and continue the little exploration tour. Whew. All right, so we are back in the studio setup now. And I wanted to give you a few more insight on to what I did right here, because it was my first time kind of creating a studio. So if you have any suggestion, if you see stuff that I could improve, let me know in the comments. But if you see that lamp that's behind me, I can also change the color if I want. I can change the mood, I can make it pink, I can make it blue, red, whatever I want, which I think can be cool. If I turn it off, to be honest, feel like it's missing a little fill light behind me. Last thing, next thing, there is also a little something that you guys might have noticed are the plants. I think plants are important. It adds a little bit of life into a room, especially if you're in the basement, kind of. I mean, this room is in the basement. There are 2 windows, but I can't do anything with those windows. So yeah, a little plant adds a little touch of life. I feel like I'm almost outside. When I'm not. Now you might be wondering, okay, great for video, but in terms of photography, what can I do with that? Well, in terms of photography, let me tell you, it can be great because suddenly you have a little area where you can play around, start taking photos, you can start taking photos of your lenses, but mainly I think it's a great training to play with the light and understand how the light is impacting your scene, what kind of light you can use. Should you use little lights, for example, to light up a product, like creating like strong shadows on it? Do you want to do it around? And also seeing really the impact, maybe with longer lenses, of the background. All right, guys, with that being said, that's it, that's the setup. I hope that has inspired you to try a little bit, create something in your own room or in your parents' house or your grandmother's, who knows. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next episode. I can't wait to share with you the next adventures. So please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the SUBSCRB button, ring that notification bell. It's gonna make a huge dong. It's gonna be amazing. And I will see you in the next episode. Get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new. Actually, maybe you can shoot inside. Bye.